Okay, so you want the lowdown on this Uncharted 4 review in 2025? Like, I'm just chatting with you about it, right? No problem, let's dive in. So back in 2016, when Uncharted 4 first dropped, it was a huge deal. Critics absolutely loved it. Like, almost universally, they were raving about the story, calling it really mature and deep, focusing on things like family and getting older, which apparently hit home for a lot of people. And the graphics, forget about it. People were saying it was the best looking game at the time, a real showcase for the PlayStation 4. They were blown away by how detailed everything looked, from the jungles to the characters' faces. Fast forward to 2025, and it's interesting to see how the game is still talked about. You go online, check out forums and stuff, and you still see players saying how much they love it. Some even think it still looks amazing, even compared to newer games. It definitely left its mark. You know, you can probably see its influence in other action-adventure games that came after, with that focus on telling a really good story and having those big cinematic moments. Within the Uncharted series itself, a lot of people consider this one the peak, the perfect ending to Nathan Drake's story. Now, when you compare the graphics to games that came out up to 2025, yeah, there's been some advancements like with ray tracing and all that, but Uncharted 4 still holds its own because of its art style and the sheer level of detail. Plus, they re-released it as part of the Legacy of Thieves collection for the PlayStation 5 and PC, and that version looks even better and runs smoother. So it's not like it's stuck in the past visually. Interestingly, some of the things people mentioned as minor issues back in 2016, like the pacing being a bit slower in parts or the climbing feeling a bit repetitive, are still things that get brought up. But overall, the really strong story, the characters you actually care about, and the amazing presentation tend to outweigh those points for most people. The ending especially is something that people still talk about as being really satisfying. Is it still a benchmark for storytelling and characters in action-adventure games? It's definitely up there. Even with newer story-driven games coming out, Uncharted 4's character work and that conclusive ending still resonate. And technically, even without the very latest in graphics in its original form, the updated version in the Legacy of Thieves collection keeps it looking really impressive. When you talk about the best games of all time, those lists are always changing and depend on who you ask. But Uncharted 4 definitely made a big impact, especially during the PlayStation 4 era, so it's likely to still pop up in those kinds of discussions, even if it's not always at the very top. And it's not just nostalgia driving the love, you can still see people playing it. On PC, the Legacy of Thieves collection has a decent number of players on Steam, and since it's on PlayStation Plus Extra, it's still really easy for PlayStation owners to jump in and play. So it's not just a game people remember fondly, they're still actively engaging with it. So yeah, to wrap it up, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End has definitely stood the test of time. It was a masterpiece when it came out, and even in today, it's still considered a fantastic game, thanks to its story, characters, and how good it still looks and plays, especially with the updated version. It's like a classic treasure that people keep coming back to.